Hello everyone, this is FreeplayFrenchie. Welcome back to another one-take video. I hope you're all doing well. I'm not sure when I'm going to put this up, so I'm not going to say Happy Christmas or Happy New Year, depending on when I put it up, whatever. I hope you're all well and you're happy and you're having a nice time and all the rest of it. This is a video that I've wanted to do for a while and hadn't got around to doing it because I fell out of making videos for a little bit and lost my rhythm. But today I wanted to talk to you about friend groups and my experience with friends, because I'm 21 now and I've had a fair few groups of friends. To give you a little context about me, I get on much better with guys than I do girls. I just always have. I think I don't really know why. Although, to be honest, when I was little, I was very tomboyish and I was into quite boyish type things. I was never particularly girly and cutesy and all into that. A little bit, probably more now. I'm a little bit obsessed with sparkle and glitter now, so maybe I'm more girly than I was then. But I just wanted to talk to you about it in case you're going through a particular rough time with your friends, or you're wondering what to do, or, you know, lots of things can happen, especially in your teens, that can confuse you with your friends, and I just wanted to touch on that basically. So when you're younger, you usually have one friend or a couple that you're going to be best friends forever with, and I certainly did. There's only one friend actually that I'm still friends with, and that was going to be, and she was my sort of like best friends forever thing, and that's actually worked. But it is the case usually that you have friends, or you might have friends at the moment that you think you're going to be friends forever with, and you totally might be, because I have one like that as well. But if you're at a stage where your friend, I know the transition from middle school to high school is usually when a lot of people lose their friends. I didn't especially, but I did lose them later on. Don't worry too much. And I know this is a really hard thing to hear, but if, say, they've started hanging out with other people and you don't speak to them anymore, or you feel like you'd like to connect with them but you just can't summon the courage, try not to worry, because everything changes in a very short space of time. You can talk to them again and see how they respond. I mean, this is all depending on what age you are. I'm thinking like probably teens. A lot of people do lots of different things for different reasons, and people feel a lot of the time, I know I'm generalising, but they can feel like they need to impress other people in order to survive, especially in high school, and you can feel forgotten, and that's a horrible thing to go through. But at the same time, you might reconnect with them later on. A funny story I have in this example is that one of my dearest friends, who I'm friends with now, I didn't speak to for several years because I went to prom with a guy she liked at the time. I didn't like him, he was just going as my friend, and I wanted some pictures with him. But she was very, very upset that I was going with him and told me that if I went with him, she'd never speak to me again. So I did, because I was like, sod this, and I did, and I really missed her for a long period of time because we got on so well and we had so much in common. And then a few years later, I said to her, hey, you know, got your number from a friend, do you fancy meeting up and having a coffee? And she was like, yeah. And we met up and we hang out all the time now. So things can change. Try not to worry too much. You might reconnect with them along the way. Maybe talk to them, give it a go, ask them what's going on, ask them, you know, why aren't we seeing each other anymore? But if they're blasé about it, and if they brush you off, and if they treat you any less than you deserve, let it go. Doesn't mean you have to hold a grudge. Doesn't mean you have to hate them or anything like that. And some of your friends might encourage you to hate them, and because when you're young, all these emotions get carried away, and they might come up to you and be like, oh my God, she's being such a bitch to you, or, you know, he treated you in the worst way, I hope you never speak to him again because you're worth so much more than that. That's not what I'm saying. It's only when you get to this age and after you've dealt with it all that you think, wow, I really overreacted, or that was so not a big deal. And I'm telling you now, it's probably worth your time, not worth more of your time or whatever, to not react that way. You'll save your older self loads of less cringe looking back and be like, why did I react that way? Just let it go. Just be aware that that's happened. Make a mental note of it. And then come back to them another time, or not. And it's hard because you can form really emotional connections with people, and I know that. But that's just my little impression of that, when you can lose your best friend forever. The other thing is I've really learned is a little bit about relationships as well, is that it comes down to effort in terms of friends. It comes down to the effort people are willing to make and the respect and the care they're giving you. So for example, I was with a big group of people, a big group of boys I used to hang out with for a long time, and we got on really well most of the time. Although because I was mainly the only girl, it was me and a couple of other girls, but mainly it was me who hung out with them all the time. After a while, a few of them started saying things that were a bit bitchy, to put it. No, that's the best way to put it. You know, they weren't very nice, and I got a bit fed up, and I would challenge them every time they did it. And because I challenged them, it wasn't arguments, but it was just niggling little things, and I got a bit bored with it. And then I started going out with a guy who was also friends with them. And once we were together, because we were first both single, once we were together, that created a whole load of drama, and they started being really just mean, and they wouldn't include us in a lot of things. And we think it was because, we've talked about this since, we think it's because we were in a relationship and it was all different and it changed because everyone else was single, and I was the only girl, and he was like this other guy that had come in, he was really cool, and you know, the way it worked out. So after a while, when I was fed up of hearing all these things these guys had to say, and because I was with someone, I just stopped hanging out with them. And it was hard because I hadn't really got anyone else to hang out with. I had a couple of girlfriends and a few people here and there that were older than me, who were off doing other things that I spoke to online, but no one else to really hang out with. So I gave it a go, and I gave it a couple of tries. But if it's not working, if you're sitting there wondering, what am I doing here? This is absolute trash. You have to leave. That's the best way to deal with it. And it comes down to how people are treating you. And then something similar happened a few years later when I started hanging out with another group. And after a while of hanging out with them, I was a bit like, these people aren't my friends. I'm not getting on with them well. They're not, you know, supporting me. They're not encouraging me. Because true friends, and you will learn this as you're older, because I only have like maybe a couple of these now. True friends encourage you. True friends will check on you, will message you when you aren't expecting them to say, hi, how are you? You know, you doing okay? Do you want to meet up? They'll look out for you. They will listen to your problems. They won't try and change you either, and they won't make fun of you. They won't make fun of you, and they won't insult you, and they won't laugh at your funny habits. A bit like in a relationship. True friends and true partners won't do these things. And it's very likely that you will outgrow some people in your life, and that you will be friends with some people and then friends with other people, and you will probably change quite a lot. And some people don't change. My problem with one of my groups of friends was that they were very narrow-minded, and they hadn't left the area in a very long time, like, because I live in a village, and they hadn't left Lancing / England in such a long time that they thought very narrow-minded thoughts. And I'd done a lot of travelling, and I'd seen a lot of people and views and opinions, and I'd had quite a lot of debates and just appreciated the world and stuff, and they hadn't had that. And it caused some friction in our arguments, and a lot of the girls were not as outspoken and brave, I think, and they were a lot of ways, and I was often speaking on their behalf because they couldn't stand up to the guys. It was all very, very messy, and good for a little bit, and a nice bit for a while in your life, but some things are just in your life for a while. Some people are just in your life for a while. And I know it's hard to accept sometimes, and I know I'm repeating myself, but I just want you to know that it's okay to feel sad. Before I went to uni, I had hardly any big group of friends that I was going to hang out with. And I was also expecting, when I went to uni, that I was going to meet a big group of friends and have loads of friends and hang out with, but I wasn't living on campus, so that was kind of working against me in a way. That being said, I met a lot of people at uni, and I got on really well with them, and I chatted with them, but not many of them I really hung on to or made a connection with. Maybe only one girlfriend who I see occasionally and talk to occasionally. So that goes for uni as well. Some of you will meet lifelong friends at university, and you will, you know, ride off into the sunset together, and I think that's wonderful. And I hope you do. I hope you do meet great people. But some people you just will chat with a little bit and then they go. And that's just because it depends on the effort people want to make. Some people might like you, but they might not want to make the effort, and that happens a lot as well. And good friends make the effort. The girl I was talking about before, my best friend forever, my friend Zoe, we met in first school, and then she went to a different middle school, and during that period when she went to a different middle school, I sent her letters, and we did loads of letters for a very long time. She'd always write me back, and we'd try and do some throughout the year. And then even in secondary school a little bit, when we had phones, I still mostly wrote a letter to her, because we were just hadn't got Facebook yet, and it wasn't customary to text each other that much. We're very good at texting. And now I see her maybe twice a year if I'm lucky, because she's so busy and she's very hardworking. And about maybe twice a year. But you know, friendships like that that's lasted me ages. I'm 21 now. That's almost like 10, 20 years or something like that of being friends and it working. And when you meet someone like that and there's no time has passed when you see them again, no time. It's just, you just get to enjoy each other's company and you still connect, and it's wonderful, wonderful. And what I'm saying is, essentially, don't settle for less than you deserve. The same with relationships. If people are treating you like crap, and if they're making fun of you, and if they're making you feel rubbish, or excluding you, or talking behind your back and being bitchy, you don't have to deal with it. You don't have to deal with it. And I know being on your own might be a scarier alternative, but you won't be on your own for very long. Because things, you know, I joined a D&D group because one guy texted me and was like, hey, we're making a D&D group, I thought you might want to come and join us. Totally out of the blue. But I said yes, and now I hang out with these guys to play D&D. So things change very quickly, and don't settle for less than you deserve. Don't let people talk down to you and make you feel like rubbish, because that's not your real friends. That's not your true friends. True friends are good to you, and they care about you, and they care about your life and your decisions, and they encourage you and they support you, and they're there for you when guys break up with you or you break up with someone. So I wanted to make this because I've dealt with people who are a bit shitty, and I imagine if I've dealt with people who are a bit shitty, then other people must be doing it as well. And it really took me to the brink of not liking where I was in order to leave the friends group. Done it twice now, you know, and just take myself away because it wasn't working for me and I wasn't enjoying myself, and the patterns of going out and stuff were too repetitive, and I'm much more interested in doing exciting new things and talking to engaging people. You know, it might sound like I was the problem one. I'm thinking that now. I was the problem. They all left me. You can take it however you want. It didn't work. But, yeah. So there we are. That was a quick video. Probably rambled more than I should have and probably repeated myself far too much. But I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. Sorry if I'm covering the microphone. Have a good day. Don't let people talk down to you. Big yourself up. You're awesome. You're really cool. And I like you, so they should too. Have a good day, guys. I've been FreeplayFrenchie. Leave me a comment and a like telling me what your friends are like and whether you think they're nice or whether you think they should actually fuck off. Bye. I'll see you next time.